Alright, hi guys. I did not expect to be making this video like this week. Well, it's not gonna take me a week, but I did not expect to make this video. Alright, I know you've probably read the title, and that's fine, but I gotta do my build-up, okay? These books have been sitting on my shelf since I first got into reading, because they were like the big, they still are, but they were the big romance books. They were in like the top biggest, you know, whatever series. And I've had them for years. And for some reason I was like, I've just been like reading dark romances, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why, but I have. I've read like 3 back to back. And I was like, let me just change it a little bit. I want a billionaire, millionaire, rich romance. I want to be wined and dined. So, however, let me sit up on my knees for this. Okay, I am finally reading the Twisted Love series. However, I will show you the few clips that I took of this book, and I will explain why I have so few in a minute. But I said that when I read these books, I really wanted to annotate them and like color, oops, spoiler alert, like color code, like so all of the tabs are blue, all of the highlights and underlining are blue. Let me see if I can find one. Okay, yeah. So I like highlighted moments that I liked, and then I had like a little blue pen to underline things. So if you couldn't tell, this is done. Okay. I have so few clips of this because I started it the other night at like 10, 11 o'clock, and I was like, I'm gonna read a couple chapters so I can say that I started this tonight. I'll do my intro in the morning and then read it for the next couple days. I sat there in one sitting and read 170 pages, which is, according to Goodreads, 47% of this book. I stayed up until like 3:45 in the morning and I had work the next day. So then I was like, okay, now you definitely have to record your intro in the morning before you finish this book. Forgot. Went to work, finished it. So there are like no clips because I, in 2 sittings, devoured this book. And I love it. And I'm going to jump, and this is something I don't do. You know me, I don't like to continue series straight through. However, this follows different characters and blah, blah, blah. And there were so many little eggshells for, what's her name? For Bridget and Reese. That I already knew what order the couples went, and I already know who ends up together, so that's okay. I am so excited to read their story. I've been excited for Bridget and Reese just because I used to pay more attention to Reese when I would see fan art or clips because I love the name Reese Sand, blah, blah, blah. So I'm very excited for their book. However, I really liked these guys so much that it's going to be that classic thing where it's like a standalone, but not, they're in the same series, where I don't want to leave these characters yet. Like, it's going to be weird going from them being the main characters to them being side characters, you know? But I have to give credit to authors that can do that, that can create so many characters with so many different personalities and turn your main character into a side character and vice versa. So, I'm yapping. Now, since I have no clips of this, I'm going to be very mindful, and I will not have the chance to devour the second book in 2 sittings because I am working straight through until Sunday. I do have Sunday off, but I have plans Sunday, kind of. But I would like to, I might start it tonight, but I need to go pick out my tabs and my pen and my highlighter. So, I loved it. I get it now. I always got it. I always knew it was going to be, I knew it was going to be good. I knew it was going to be obsessed, which is another reason why I put it off, because I'm toxic to myself. If I know I'm going to love something, I put it off because I don't want an entire personality change. Bug, you want to say hi? I'm so pleased with my blue on blue on blue. Do you want to say hi? It's time for your classic hello. Come here. You want your stretch? You big stretch? Oh! So, we're gonna jump in to, what's the second one called? Twisted Games. I knew what the other ones were called. I can never remember this one. Okay, we're gonna jump into Twisted Games. We're gonna jump into Bridget and Reese's story, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited! Okay. So, now, I'm going to show you the, like, 2 or 3 clips I took of this book, and then we're going to jump straight into the next one. So, I'm ready for my billionaire. You got someone new, I know it. Yeah, but I will keep on denying.
Nothing's even happening. Surprise, surprise, I haven't taken any clips and I've read like so much. I sat here and read 150 pages. I'm crying. I'm like teared up when she said she was gonna miss him. I feel like I'm on the edge of a spiral in my own personal life and this is not. Okay.
Alright, hi guys. It looks so weird to be in the cool lighting because I like my warm light. But it is morning time. And I don't feel good. I don't know what's wrong with me. I have not felt good for 2 days. Anyway, I want to talk about Twisted Games for a minute because I'm going to work today and I'm going to read a little bit while I'm there, but I want to be able to talk about it before I get too far. But I also didn't really talk about Twisted Love too much. But this is my annotating. You can see it. I used a blue highlighter for like moments I liked. Alright, and then if it was more like dialogue that I like, I just kind of like, I just kind of underlined it. But I actually really enjoyed Twisted Love. I don't think I realized, I mean, I knew that the girls all went to the same college, I think. I didn't know they were already friends and all that, which I think is kind of cool because I think a lot of the times when you have interconnected standalones, they kind of center around a guy friend group, which is interesting. What else is interesting is that you meet Bridget and, I mean, you obviously meet Bridget, but you meet Reese. Like, these kind of overlap at some point because then this book is over the course of 4 years. Anyway, I really enjoyed this one and I feel I'm really, really enjoying Reese and Bridget, which I knew that I would. I knew that I would really like them to the point where I was worried if I was going to be excited about this one or just want to rush through it. But usually when I kick off with an interconnected series, the first couple is always going to be my favorite. And then the rest are just like also very good. But I always like the first one. But I'm really liking Reese and Bridget. I'm not going to choose a favorite. I don't feel like there's any need to. However, I really liked this book. I didn't expect the trauma. Not my personal trauma. I didn't expect like Ava to have that much history. But very interesting. Very interesting. So, very happy with them. This one, very much enjoyed it. Now, I didn't want to use yellow for this. I was going to use orange. So I've been using oranges. The problem is I didn't have like a pastel. And this is my little key. I didn't have pastel orange highlighters. So right now it's just bright orange and I don't know how I feel. It's not my favorite, but again, underlining for dialogue that I like. Clearly I liked a lot in this chapter. And then, see, it's just so in your face, which, ugh. But I'm really enjoying this one. I'm kind of obsessed with Reese, to be fair. But do you expect anything else with the name Reese? I haven't read in a couple days. I know where I left off, but you know the funniest thing about this is, and I know I already said this part, when I started reading this, I picked it up one night, really late, like at 10 p.m., and I was like, let me just read a chapter or two to get into it. Blah, blah, blah. Sat there and read 170 pages in one sitting. Finished it the next day in a second sitting. This book, quite a bit larger, but I sat down to read a couple pages the first night that I started it and read 177 pages in one sitting. I can't tell you the last time I did that. My attention span has been horrendous. So thanks, Anna Huang. Oh gosh. So where we're at now is where the contract was about to expire because basically, I mean, kind of spoiler, but like, whatever. Is it a spoiler? No, it's on the back. So anyway, Bridget is a princess to a small European country, but her brother abdicates. So now she's just like, well, I'm going to be queen. So then for someone that wanted to stay in America and have a semi-normal life, as well as her like American bodyguard, their contract was going to end because initially he had no interest in being in that country. She didn't either. So the contract is going to end. I may have skipped forward a couple pages. I don't know why, but he ends up showing up and he's like, hey, can I extend the contract a little bit longer? And so they went on one last hurrah trip where no one would know who she was, so she could just relax. And they didn't go all the way, but they definitely crossed the lines. I'm really enjoying this one. I cannot tell you the last time that I was just so entranced by romance. I haven't sat and just read romance books in so long. Like, yes, every book I read has a degree of romance to it, but I have not read, like, oh my gosh, I'm eating these up. I'm like, when's the last time you saw me pick up series? Because I thought when I did this video, I would do it over the course of a couple months whenever I felt like picking these up. I finished this one, started this one the next day. Like, I'm having a really good time though. I feel like, well, granted, I don't feel good today, so I don't know how far I'm gonna read. But I'm expecting to get maybe not, because I think I'm only gonna have a couple hours, but I'm excited and I don't feel good. Oh gosh. I was in a parade yesterday and I didn't feel good yesterday. And I woke up this morning and I was supposed to go to work and we ended up having to be like, you know what, we're going to open late because I could not be there. I had like the kind of it was a sinus migraine to the point like I could not open my eyes. So then I slept for like 3 more hours and now I'm going to go in. We're just opening late. So, got my stuff. Got my book. Let's go.
Just be pure for a while. I'm fucked up, oh yeah, I know it. All alone with mixed emotions. Yeah. Gotta keep my temper from running wild. Need someone to.
Okay, all I'm saying is Anna Huang likes the name Elliot. We're 2 for 2. Different characters, but there's been an Elliot in both books. Just
so I pray to God to find a way to fix it all. I'm in denial, I'm undercover. My heart is breaking, so I'm faking every smile. I'm in denial,
We're not even We're not even like to the spice. He's just talking and he's hot.
just be
Ugh.
cause I go fast, yeah, I go hard.
What's up?
Find some peace,
Ugh.
so I pray to God
I hate men.
to fix it all, to fix it all, to fix it all. Cause I go fast, yeah, I go hard. Wanna find some peace, so I pray to God to find a way to fix it all. I'm in denial, I'm undercover. My heart is breaking, so I'm faking
Oh.
every smile.
Okay, listen. He's inviting her tomorrow night to snake around. That's plenty of time to be like, this is not a good idea. He wants it. We already knew he wanted it, but he's like, no, this is happening.
I'm slipping away, so don't let me go, nah, 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 nah. I'm all up in that love haze, so where do we go, nah, nah? Just let me know that I am safe here in your arms. I wanna stay.
Where are y'all finding these men?
I'm slipping
All right.
away, so don't let me go now. The love is sick.
You know what I will say? So far, the guys in the series have been using protection. And you know what? We love it. Because I feel like most of the time, they just don't. And miraculously, no one ever has a baby. We was gonna say a realistic man. These are not realistic men, but they are using protection.
Walking around in this love haze. I wanna stay in this feeling, but let me know that I am safe. Hearing your voice, I wanna stay.
I'm locked in right now, guys.
I'm slipping away.
Ah! And thunder in the distance. Wonderful.
It's out of control, but baby, I love the rush. It overflows. It's out of control. Your love is exceptional. It fills me up. It's out of control, but baby, I love the rush. It overflows. It's out of control.
Oh no. Do I have a new book boyfriend? The bottom of page 242. Yes, please. Okay, sorry. I lost where we were in the position. Literally. Only Reese can make those words sound hot, okay? Because no one else. No one else. Okay. Well, they finally did it. Good for them. Oh my god. Alright guys, we're going to take a break for 1 minute. Well, more than 1 minute, let's be fair, because I'm going to take more clips than that. We are going to celebrate today something that is arguably more important than all Christmas things. And that is Freddy Day. It's Freddy Day! It is Freddy's Gotcha Day. Hi to all my fans. My little velociraptor. Listen. Alright, we are going to do a little bit of our presents and our cake here, and then we are going to run to Grandma's house and see Grandma and Grumpy on our birthday, aren't we? Guys, don't pay too much attention to my kitchen. It is under construction.
Come here, Fred. Come here, Fred, Julie. I got you a bottle book.
You are my sunshine on a rainy day.
Then he got this big thing. Alright, you wanna, and it comes in a bag. We can take this to Grandma's. Alright, you wanna look at it? Alright, come here. Whoa, this thing is huge. I've just sat in a puddle of something. Oh, that's horrendous. Oh my gosh, and I have to zip this piece? This thing is insane. Snoot, that's it.
I surrender my heart. I was yours from the
I'm such a mom. I put this all together. That's so cute.
Stronger than all.
Alright, well, that's actually Fred. Hey, can you not make it smell like you're eating outside your brother's toy?
On a rainy day.
Freddy, come here, you know?
You are the
Can you see how disgusting this is? It's a 2-tiered cake.
Oh, I got lighting. Happy birthday, boop boop. Happy birthday, boop boop. Happy birthday, dear Fred. Happy Gotcha Day to you.
Look around the fire. It's like, I'm not doing it.
Red, you look so silly.
You're silly. You're silly.
Wow! Want a present? Here you go. Ooh! This is from Grammy and Grumpy. Are you gonna say thank you? Here you go. Oh, you get something else.
Oh, I'm slipping away.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that the scene that made me want to read this book is coming. Oh. I didn't even get there yet. I just saw it at the bottom of the page. I'm just gonna read it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I'm slipping away, yeah. Just like I am dreaming.
Why must I consistently find bookmen, which are not freaking real? In case you wanted to know, I'm at chapter 36. Okay, you don't understand. I'm gonna cry. This line right here almost did it in for me for my own personal reasons. It said, I already had Reese for 3 years. It was time to let him go. I'm gonna die! I didn't have 3 years. I had close. Just gonna go shut up now. You know, the crazy thing is excuse my teary eyes, I finally was like, he had alcohol for the first time? Hold on, I turned the page without paying attention. It has taken me, a year and a half to get back into any form of like romance book where I'm okay with reading a romance book. I was okay if there was some romance in the books I was reading, but even then that took like 6 or 9 months after my heartbreak. Didn't think that I'd have to deal with the PTSD of a breakup conversation. That one got me. I was like, I want to die. I'm crying. Anyway. Not to turn this into a rant about breakups, but, now listen, I'm not in the mind of who broke my heart. But granted, he never showed back up, so he could have been completely serious. But the saying really cruel things during a breakup that you as someone's partner who knew them better than anyone else, you know that they don't mean, but they're saying it to make you just give up. I just want... Anyway, we obviously know they're going to end up back together. The only communication I've had with my ex is that his is still sitting in my house and haunting me. Okay. Now, unfortunately for me, they're obviously gonna, whereas as much as I wish that happened with me and my ex, I think he's having his happily ever after with someone else. I'm going to stop talking about this now. You can watch my healing diaries if you would like to know anything about this. However, my healing diaries is about me now. Anyway.
Alright, I'm in my robe. I'm ready to talk. Okay, Let's see. I have some notes. I think I'm pretty close to the end of this book. I think I'm either just at 100 pages or I'm under that. So let me take a look at my notes. I have quite a few. Okay, here's a concern I have right now. I think there is going to be a... No, I don't think. I hope there isn't a cheap shot at who Reese's dad is, because he is Eldoran. And I hope that it's not a cheap shot that, oh my gosh, he's a person of importance and Reese actually does have a title. I feel like that'd be way too convenient. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that she would do that. At the end of the day, if it happened, it is a cheesy romance book. It's fine. It's fine. I hope that's not what happens, but okay. Oh, right. This is a note that I have in my phone. It literally says, Reese and that dirty mouth. And then, this might be one of my new favorite books. I'm like, it got to the point where I was eating it up and I was reading so much of it, and then I stopped because I didn't want it to end. It was bad. And then I have a note that says, the problem with books like this is it reminds me that I don't have this in my life. And then I said, ladies, don't settle with a man unless he talks to you like this. If you know what I mean. And I believe that is all I have for my updates right now, because I really think that I'm going to finish this. But if I sit down and read it tonight, I feel like I'm going to finish it tonight. I'm eating it up. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. If your name is Reese, 10 degrees hotter immediately. I'm obsessed. And I like Bridget. I feel like... No, I'm not going to make that comment because I feel like I've really been vibing with the female protagonists I've been reading about lately, so I don't want to hate on them. So, let's get back to reading, and I will see you when I finish the book.
Oh, I'm slipping away. So don't let me go, nah.
Ignore the mess behind me. It is Christmas night. And this is the remnants of cat presents and cat trees that I put together this morning and wrapping and other stuff. But I have a reason for updating you tonight, so let me grab my book. Check out the Mickey pajamas. I do indirectly work for Disney. I have read the first 2 books. As you remember, this one is very blue. I went with an orange theme for this one, right? This may be one of my new favorite books, okay? Listen, my imaginary boyfriend, he's always been named Reese. I will get to why I'm updating you on Christmas, but I just want to say a couple things because I don't think I ever filmed a wrap-up for this book. Okay, I finished this on December 15th, so 10 days ago, and I have read, I have read 3 books since then, and ironically enough, they were all like stalker Christmas books. 2 of them were like novellas and one of them was a full book. I don't know what's wrong with me right now. However, here are my notes for Twisted Games. Okay, Twisted Game. Here are the notes that I took reading. I can't remember where I was in the book when I updated last, but here are the notes that I took whilst finishing. Okay, I said, I like that Stefan is not the villain. I feel like there are some cheap shots that you can take in most plot lines, which are very understandable cheap shots because sometimes they're just realistic. I like that he was just another person who was in love with someone he wasn't allowed to be in love with, you know? He was literally the same as Nikolai and Bridget. Like, and I loved that. And I kind of wish that they had a spin-off series, but you never know. Okay, and then I said, oh, fun little twist that Alex worked with Bridget. I thought that was fun because Bridget was pretty prominent, especially in the end of Twisted Love. So I thought that it was really, really fun that there was like a little twist there and that it was between Bridget and Ava's partner. Just a fun little thing. I didn't expect it, but I did like that. I said, no one is going to love me like this. No one is going to fly halfway across the world to tell me they love me. Oh, sorry, that was a run-on sentence and I got confused. This kind of goes hand in hand with the first book too. I'm probably going to say this when I wrap up, but like
fair warning, flying halfway across the world to tell someone that you are sorry and that you love them only works in books. It only works if you're a man. It did not work for me. I'm okay. And then I said, I just have a note that says, I love them. I do. I love Bridget and Reese. And I knew they were a really popular couple. I know that they're up there with people's like favorite. Oh my gosh. I love them. And I love both of them. I love Bridget's growth. And I think the fact that this book takes place over 4 years, there is so much growth, but it's realistic growth when you really put in like, when you're like, okay, wait, like this didn't take place over a year, which you can grow in a year. You can grow significantly in a year. Over the course of, I feel like I was with these people for a long time. And oh my gosh, speaking of being with these people, I read the author's note at the end, and Anna Huang was like, oh my gosh, like I've been with these two for so long, and now I'm releasing them into the world, and they're yours. And I started to tear, like I wanted to cry, because I was like, these are not real people. And it made me so sad. And I said, Bridget is a boss bitch. I really liked Bridget. I liked how like sophisticated she was, but she was strong and she was adamant, and I loved her. And like in a weird indirect way, I feel like I've been focusing and I feel like this is a journey that I've been on recently, like with self-care. Like I have a skincare routine that I've stuck to for months now, and like I feel like even just how I do, I've like had, and I'm doing my makeup the same way as I always have, but I'm having more confidence in it right now because I'm just like, I don't know, and it doesn't quite make sense why I relate them to characters or why I feel a certain way after I read a book, but like I don't care. That didn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, and then my last note was, I can actually see how much Bridget has grown. And I loved that. I loved her growth. I loved how she started really believing in herself. And I loved that she started to love the position that she was in. And I feel like if you really go back and think about it, like, no, she wasn't a wild, crazy party college girl. But even the jump from being at the club trying to, like, make Reese jealous with that one stupid, like, trust fund baby boy to where she ended up at the end of the book. Like, there's so much growth there. I'm obsessed. Loved it. Okay, 2 books down, 2 to go. But the reason I am updating you on Christmas is look. At the end of the book, in both books, and I hope it's in all 4, I haven't checked, there is a link that you can type in that gives you bonus chapters for the book, which a lot of authors do this, or have like or they have it on their websites or something. Also in this one. So I have downloaded both of those things and they are on my Kindle. I can't remember what Ava and Alex's bonus chapter is about, but I know Reese and Bridget's bonus chapter is their first Christmas as husband and wife. So I waited. I want to read that tonight because it is Christmas night. Christmas is almost over. I mean, I'm still going to see people this weekend and celebrate Christmas with them, but like tonight is Christmas. So I would like to read I would like to read about their first Christmas as husband and wife tonight. I cannot move my head. Yeah, super excited. Love them so much. I kind of don't want to read it because I want to be able to revisit them later, but I want to read it tonight. It's Christmas, and I've saved it for now. So we are going to do that. And then I want to get this video out like in the first week of the new year. This video was supposed to either happen entirely next year, or I wanted to have it out before the end of this year. It might just be a really early upload in the new year. So that means we got to jump into the last 2 books pretty soon. And I'm kind of feeling like I don't want to move on from Bridget and Reese, but I have complete faith that I am going to enjoy the last 2 books. I also know the order that the books go in, but I know that in Reese and Bridget's book, obviously because Reese works with, what's his name? The love interest in the 4th book. They work together, so he is heavily talked about in that book. So I liked getting to know him a little bit before we get there. You know what I mean? Merry Christmas, guys. I'm gonna go read about these lovebirds, and
be envious and cry myself to sleep. Like I do. All the time. And even on Christmas.
Got a lot of time. Don't wanna let it slide. About to get insane. It likes to chug as sooner of tonight. Look at all the stars. Tell me where you are. 오늘이 지나면 후회를 따윈 없어요. 하잖아.
I get it now. I didn't get Josh at first. I get it now.
Okay, hi guys. I am over halfway through Twisted Hate. I have read like 197 pages today. Okay, so here's the thing. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. I would like to finish this year. Now, it kind of triggers my OCD that I've read 3 out of the 4 books in 1 year, and the 4th one is not included in that. That's okay. That's okay. We are fighting the OCD lately, guys. Or we're powering through. You know what I mean? Anyway, I feel like I should probably update because tomorrow I feel like I will read a significant amount of this book again, potentially even finish it. So, Bug, you're a silly goose. A bug. A bug. Here's the thing. I have complete faith in Anna Huang at this point. Like, I know I'm gonna love everybody, you know, blah, blah, blah. I knew that I would end up really liking Jules. She was pretty prominent, but also not really as, like, the crazy best friend. And I knew that she would go deeper than that. That's fine. I was excited for Twisted Hate because people say that this is their favorite book. It kind of goes between Reese and Bridget and then Jules and Josh. So, here's the thing. I didn't dislike Josh, but I didn't really think one way or the other about him. Like, I wasn't, like, unexcited for the book, and I was excited because I was excited to read the next book and to read Anna Huang's writing. However, I get it. I get it now. I get it! Where do you find a man like these? Nowhere. Where do you find a man that talks like this? Nowhere. Anyway, I only have a couple notes because I've kind of just been locked in and reading. Okay, so my notes for this one. I have 3 notes. The first one is Josh has a dirty mouth. Obviously. The second one is Jules is hot. Obviously. Okay, and then this is like a given. I hate how Jules is being manipulated by Max. It's like literally driving me insane, and it drives me insane because people really do this, especially when it comes to exploitation with sometimes intimate things are caught on camera or sent to other people. This one is a little bit crazier because of the video he has. I'm not going to spoil it. It's not... Anyway, it is really sad. And that, friends, is why you have to be really careful about what you do with people and how private or unprivate you let that be. Don't get me wrong. It is a canon event. You learn your lesson. Anyway, hate men. But, I just got so short. I'm loving it. I had no doubt that I would love it, but I was so, like, I just did not want to leave Reese and Bridget. Like, I didn't want to, I couldn't do it. I was so scared, so I did take, like, a week or so to pick up this book. But, speaking of Reese and Bridget, I did take a picture of this and I wanted to read it because this is in this book. But, you know, like, the timelines kind of cross. So at the end of Reese and Bridget's book, there's a wedding, and there's like a one little liner for Stella and Christian as well, but at one point Ava is like, has anybody seen Josh or Jules? So basically Josh and Jules in this book, but in the same timeline, were having like a heart-to-heart. I think the heart-to-heart was Josh kind of approaching the subject like, maybe this could be more than just a beneficial relationship. But anyway, this part literally made me tear up. This is about Reese and Bridget.
from Jules' point of view. I love him so much. It says, across the altar, Reese fell unnaturally still. His eyes locked onto Bridget's, and his face glowed with such love, it made my heart squeeze. A meteor could have landed in the cathedral, and he wouldn't have been able to tear his eyes away from her. Bridget's returning smile was visible, even beneath her lace veil. The moment stretched between them, so raw and intimate, I felt like I was intruding despite the thousands of guests surrounding us. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading. I get it. Like, I get it. And I feel like listen, one of my favorite tropes is enemy to lovers, right? And I feel like if you're reading like a fantasy enemies to lovers, like higher stakes, blah, blah, blah. This one, as far as like a romance, like this is, it's not fantasy. It's obviously a fictional book, but it's not fantasy. There is some realism to it. It's just two human beings, you know? I like the enemy to lover thing. It feels much more natural. It feels paced out very well. It wasn't like oh my gosh, we kissed once and now every opinion I've ever had changed. Like, no, that's not what happened. Like, and it's such a realistic enemies because he made a comment about her 7 years prior that hurt her feelings. And then they naturally just bickered until it got to the point of like hating each other. And it's just a very natural thing, you know, like it was just a misunderstanding, but also not a misunderstanding. Like it's very real and it feels very just good. Anyway, I fear Anna Huang might be one of my new favorite authors. And I knew she would be, okay? I knew she would be. Also, this is really funny. So I work at a bookstore, obviously. I work at Barnes & Noble. I'm only there for a couple more weeks, but so obviously Anna Huang's books are very popular. It is a very popular thing to be on the shelves, and we have like large quantities of it, blah, 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 blah. I'm over in the romance section noticing specifically this one. I think we didn't have any on the shelf. So I start looking up all 4 of the books in the series to see like the quantity that we have so I can go like find the books and then put them on the shelves. And then like I'm looking it up and I see special edition. Also today is December 30th. Special edition. And I click on it because I'm like, what's this? Special edition hardback. I don't think it's spread edges, but it's like pictures inside, like inside the cover. Oh my gosh, they were gorgeous. I immediately put all 4 on hold. This is like 2 weeks ago. I got the email today announcing them. But just because I looked it up in the system, like her books, and then like went to that, and then I just happened to see special edition, got curious, clicked on it, on the clock. I have had these on hold 2 weeks before they were announced, and I'm so freaking excited. Okay. I love her. Ooh, and for the first time, we were kind of very lightly introduced to Asher Donovan, who is part of and the first love interest in a whole other series that she has. Okay, anyway, I'm so excited. Gonna keep reading. I hope I'll finish this tomorrow. Cause the night is way too young. It's only begun. Just let all your problems go. This just feels so right. Gotta let it time. Don't wanna let it slide. About to get and see it like such a best sooner. I have a hyperfixation with peppermint bark right now. Anyway, I read like 197 pages today. I finished it. So, I read all day. Okay, let me see. What are the notes that I have? And I think I'll go into more detail about it, or maybe not more detail, but I'll add some detail when I do like my overall thing at the end. But these are just notes that I took today, and I kind of want to talk about them while they're kind of fresh. Okay, so the first one I said was, I like how they're keeping up the banter and even light mocking. That's what their relationship was for 7 years, but now with yearning, and only they can do it. Like, only they can mock each other and joke, and joke around like that. And I like that it wasn't a 180, like, oh my gosh, we kissed once, and now we're in love, and now our entire relationship and the banter that kind of led to, like, and I love, like, flirty, mocky banter. Like, that's how I am in real life. So it's like,
that's not just gonna end, you know? I feel like that's pretty realistic. I like that the male characters from the other books are implemented throughout all of them. Like, no random person is introduced for the first time in the books, 1. And then 2, in the first book, Bridget helps Alex. In the second book, Bridget needs Alex's help. And then in this book, obviously Josh and Alex are best friends, so Josh needs Alex's help. But in this one, Jules needs Christian's help, and Christian is going to be the love interest in the 4th book. So, and then she's going to owe him a favor in the 4th book. So it's like I like that, and I like that they're involved, and I like that it gives this air of everyone knowing each other, and not just like the 4 guys aren't 4 random people that these 4 friends are dating. Like, they're all kind of intertwined. It's kind of giving you the picture of like a friend group, and all of these guys could end up being really good friends with each other. So, oh, we met Dante. He is the first love interest in the first book of Anna Huang's other pretty big series. I think it's like the King of, well, it's the Sins series. Like, it's like Gluttony, Greed, all that stuff. I can't remember which one's first. Oh, there's something that I didn't love, and it wasn't a writing thing, it was a character thing. Everyone, like, all of the guys, everyone, I don't know how to put it, like, more than once, it is from a main character who you really like Alex said it in this book, but then, like, there was other people that said in other books, like, everyone kind of makes a snarky dig towards Jules, being like, well, I'm not her biggest fan. Like, she is so loyal to all of your girlfriends. And you don't like her because she says it like it is, but she is loyal, and she will do anything for those girls. Like, if anybody's more loyal to those girls, like, that was going to match the level of loyalty that these guys have to their love interests, it's going to be Jules. So check yourself, all of you. I didn't like that. I didn't like that they were like, I'm not her biggest fan. Like, shut up. Get over yourself. You killed someone. Oh, I had a note. So, as you know, in the first book, I made a comment about how flying halfway across the world to tell someone that you're sorry and you love them does not work in real life. I made a note about this book where I said, see, in the books, they can work through these things, and horrible things as they said in an argument, blah, blah, blah. There are some big things with the fight and saying, like, it came up more than once that the person you are closest to, like, usually your partner, knows how to make the harshest digs towards you because they know how to hurt you. Triggered. And then also, oh, there's a clip, you're going to see it. Hold on, I gotta bite my peppermint bark. There's a clip where I roll my eyes. That was because Josh took Jules on a date, and it was a scavenger hunt. It started at a bookstore. That was done to me as a birthday present. I don't use it anymore. I have a TikTok account. You can go find it there. But that happened to me, and I was like, ruining my book. Ah! Oh, and then the last one I have just says, can you see it? It says, the Magda? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Magda? I don't know what it is. But, so it was like a little at the end of the book, and if you did not read the second book, you would not think twice about that. But through the second book, Reese and Christian, who is the love interest in the next book, Reese, the love interest in the last book, friends, or as close to friends as you can get. And Christian was still dealing with the Magda situation, and then Reese had to go help him with it. And now you just randomly find out that this painting that was brought up in book 1 and now very prominent in book 3 is called... I'm like, this is a romance series. What are these little, like, droppings everywhere of this crazy lore? I'm just like, I need to start the 4th book. I'm not going to start it today. I don't want to start it the last day of the year and it go from reading from 25 to 2026. I can't do it. I will start it tomorrow. But those are my updates for this book so far. I really enjoyed it. I get it. I get the Josh and Jules hype now. I love it. In this book, though, I knew that Dante... Well, I didn't actually know about Dante. I knew Asher Donovan, who is in the Striker series, was kind of sprinkled throughout her other books. We met him in this one, and we met Dante in this one. So 2 characters that kick off 2 other series she has both popped up in this book pretty prominently, which is really cool to see. And I'm realizing that there are even more overlapping timelines, because the whole Dante storyline in his book is that I think he's in an arranged marriage that he doesn't like. He hates her, or they don't like it. I don't know if, like, she's the daughter of her competitor. I think it's like she's the daughter of someone he hates, kind of thing. And in this, at the end of this book, Jules and Josh are at a showing because he bought Josh's painting. And his wife, who he doesn't look happy to see, shows up. And I'm like, more overlapping timelines, I see. Right, I don't want to chocolate. I can't stop eating peppermint bark. I don't even like chocolate, and I don't like peppermint. Ugh. Okay. And that is that. I did like it. And listen, I knew I was gonna. I knew I was gonna like every single one of them. I will say I was just very excited for the first two because I think I had just heard more about Ava and Alex and then Reese and Bridget. I think I also just paid more attention to the Reese and Bridget one because I love the name Reese. Hello. But I really loved this one. And I am so excited to read. Like, there's... You've got 3 books of little sprinkles. Granted, I feel like she's brought up the least so far, Stella, but I think her book is going to wrap up the series, so kind of like I'm kind of like she's probably going to have a lot of story in her book. But we've got sprinkles in the last 3 books about little things about Stella, and then in the last 2 books about Christian. So I'm excited. I'm excited to read that one. I'm sad that it's going to be over, but I'm like, I will reread these a million times. I love these books. And I really hope if they move forward with the TV show, that it does it justice. You know what I mean? Okay, you can find one hot guy to play one of these love letters. You have to find 4. And I really hope, Anna Huang is in the like decision room when it comes to actors because I trust her. Or I trust her. It's New Year's Eve. I'm gonna go get ready. I'm going to a prom-themed party, so I'll see you next year.
Infatuated, I left the flowers at your doorstep. Heart is inflated. Just tell me what you wanna do, babe. Just say it. 'Cause baby, I can sell my soul, I could let it go and have you take it away. I want you in my golden hour dream, everything between. 'Cause I just can't help myself but fantasize. Strawberry summer, sugar satellite. You spin my head around all day and night.
Okay, guys. I'm pretty sure I was wearing this the last time I talked to you, but we need to talk. I read like 150 pages today. I am almost at 300 pages, so like a little over halfway. And I have a lot of notes. Like, so many notes. Like, look at how many notes I have just for... Okay, so let's start. Okay, so keep in mind, I've been taking these notes over the course of almost 300 pages, so some of these notes probably have changed, but I was writing them as I read them. So, okay, the first one is Christian could be her stalker. Because one, he, from the get-go, is like, she's mine. Like, you know what I mean? He's giving stalker energy, but the more that I've read, I don't think he's the stalker. And I may also think this because I think I skipped forward and saw a part where he made a comment like, at least I didn't stalk you like this. I think I saw that. But I also think, yeah, like from the beginning, he says she's his. And then I have another note that says, Christian is giving stalker, but the notes and confessions of love don't seem like him. Not at the moment anyway. We all know he's going to get lovey-dovey with her, but not right now and not in that way. And like the way he's like, I now, further into the book, have a conspiracy theory about who it is. I also think I saw a name spoiler on like Pinterest or something. But then I clicked away because I didn't want to dwell on it. I think it started with an M, but I think it's a last name. My suspicion right now is Lance, one of the people, and I think younger guys, that works the front desk of the Mirage, which is the building that Christian owns and they live in. Because there is a scene before they strike the deal, when she's going on a date with a guy, And then Lance is trying to tell her that, you know, he compliments her and tells her that she looks pretty. And then he starts to say she always looks pretty. But then Christian walks up and cuts off their conversation by, you know, just his presence pretty much. And I think it could be Lance, because who else has that kind of like who else is going to have access to the building like that? And the cameras and like everybody's saying like it's either an inside job or someone had help from someone on the inside. Right now, he's my guess. Just saying. Okay, moving on from the stalker thing. Then I have a note about, I wrote these notes down a minute or two apart. The first one says, I like that Alex and Josh are friends and Reese and Christian are friends. It means one isn't coming into the group completely a stranger. You know, it's not like 3 against 1. Like, Battery, stop! And then right after that, in all caps, I wrote, Christian and Alex know each other. I literally have a note that says, is the stalker Lance? Okay, my next note is in Twisted Games, Reese and Bridget's book, I read Christian's, because him and Reese were always on the phone together, I read him as much more comical, and he's very much not that way unless he's talking to Reese. They have like this relationship. I don't know how to explain it, but I read him as much more comical in Twisted Games, and then I'm reading this and I'm like, that's not him at all. But then when you see him and Reese interact, I can understand how I thought that, because they it's like, I don't want to say like brotherly, because it is very like, I don't know. They're just the closest thing to friends that they have. And I kind of like their relationship. Yeah, I said in Twisted Games, I rank Christian is much more comical, and he's really not. However, he does joke a lot with Reese. Oh, the metaphors in this book. Okay, I took a picture of 2 of them. One says, okay, everyone was starting new chapters of their lives while I was stuck in the prologue, waiting for my story to be told. Relatable! Diva, I get it. Okay, and then, oh, here's one from Christian's point of view. And there's more than this. These are just the 2 I took pictures of because I was like, whoa. This one is from Christian's point of view. It says, trying to stay away from her was like the ocean trying to stay away from the shore. Hello? Oh my gosh, Christian, the man that you are. Oh, okay. And then what I just read was, for the first time since Reese and Bridget's wedding, which was not super in-depth with everybody, it was the first time that all 8 people, all 4 couples were together. But this time it wasn't at a wedding with a million other people. They were in Josh and Jules' apartment or townhouse for a housewarming party. And it was so fun, like, seeing everybody together like that. It was so funny. And it's also like, I love all of the characters that I've met so far, and revisiting them is great. I also may have peeked ahead to the epilogue at the end where you see who has kids and everything. But the scene where all the guys are interacting and kind of grilling Christian, I loved that. That was so funny. And like, Alex is so like, it's not that bad having feelings. And it's so funny seeing like Reese, like, he's put his walls down and now he's the one that's like laughing at everybody. He's just so like almost bubbly now. I love Reese. He's so much. Reese is mine. Anyway, the last thing I wanted to share was this other quote. And it was kind of when, the closest thing to like a confession that Christian has made to Stella. And he says, I'm not a jealous man, Stella. I have never envied someone for what they have or who they are with. And yet, I'm jealous of every person you smile at, every laugh I don't hear, every breeze that touches your skin, and every sound that pours through your lips. It is maddening. Hello? Ah! Why don't they exist? Oh. Alright, I gotta go clean my house, and I have to charge my camera, and this book is like 550 pages long. So I think I will update you again tomorrow, but I don't think I'll be done with the book. Because like I said, I'm at like 290 right now. So, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Send me to heaven when I
I wanted to be home when I finished the book because I know I'm gonna cry. So we're gonna finish it now. But I also have to deal with these things not leaving me alone. Hi, mama girl. Hi, baby girl. Hi, mama. Oh, thank you. She just wants to be held all the time. Ain't that right, mama? Sweet girl. Let me double check where I'm at. I am at 493. And there are 558 pages, so, you know, like 60 pages or something. I can finish that today. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'm so sad for this series to be over. I do know spoilers. I mean, I know how the epilogue happens. It's years later and you kind of get an update of where everybody is and some new additions. And it makes me want to cry because, like, by the time you finish this series, you've been with these people for like 8 years, maybe longer. And I don't want it to end. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna get to reading.
Till you notice, baby, I'm wanting you more. Say you know this, 'cause baby, I could sell my soul, I could let it go, and have you take it or take it away.
I was convinced that the stalker was someone else. I already told you who I thought it was. Spoiler alert! I was wrong. Ah! 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 Focus. Ah! I was gonna say, when will it be my turn? Never! I'm like already on edge. I know I'm gonna start crying when I get to the part where like they all have kids. And I don't even like kids. Ah! Guinea, do not bite my book. Now is not the time. Now's not the time. I need my breakdown in peace.
I want you in my golden hour dream, everything between, 'cause
I'm not even at that part yet. I'm too weak for this right now. Okay, so what, this would technically be 5 years after the end of the, so this is like 5 years after Alex's and Ava's wedding. Oh. Me acting surprised like I didn't know that they had twins. I also knew that Reese and Bridget had a daughter, but it's just so cute. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of words on paper. I'm okay. I'm okay. Uncle Christian! Excuse me. Christian just told Reese to think about when his daughter grows up and starts dating. That was funny. The fact that he even knows what a baby moon is like hilarious. Anyway, I finished the series! I can't even talk about this right now. We will talk about this later, won't we? Won't we? We'll talk about this later, girl. I almost fell on nothing. I have twins. I have little twins. My little terrors. They're actually not twins. This is my daughter, and this is her daughter. I'm a grandmother. You guys look like twins. Okay, hi guys. I finished Twisted Lies last night afternoon, and I didn't want to talk about everything then. I wanted to ideally give myself a couple days. It is the next night, but I feel the itch to record something, but I don't want to start a new video until I finish talking about this one. So now I'm gonna talk about it. And I'm sure I'm gonna forget something and I'm gonna be so mad at myself because I usually remember things that I wanted to say after the video is uploaded, or after the video is edited, uploaded, and pending on YouTube. Yes, you did. Two things I want to mention. One, I meant to mention this, but I'm pretty sure in the first book, Ava talks about how Stella had a stalker, and I forgot to bring that up. Because in Stella's book, she kept talking about how the only person that knew was Jules, but I knew the whole time she had a stalker, so it was definitely brought up in Ava's book. The other thing that I've just thought about whilst editing me reading the epilogue, could you imagine if one day she does a spinoff of the kids and like Camilla and like Nico get together and Alex and Reese are brother-in-laws? And that's my 2 cents. That being said, let's talk about it. Oh my gosh. And they're like color coordinated. How cute is it? It's so cute. Okay. Now let me pull up my notes. I know that I talked about the books individually as I was reading them. So most of my notes are just going to be on Twisted Lies, the last book, and then the series overall. And the boys are hungry, so you're gonna hear them running around in the background. So let me talk about Twisted Lies before we get into all of them. I will admit, I think this one took me a little bit longer to get into just because I felt like I was really excited to get into it because we got little snippets here and there of Christian like longing after Stella in a couple different books. But I also feel like we knew the least about Stella throughout the books because she's just so quiet. But I wasn't at any point like, I don't want to read this. Don't mistake me. And I honestly think, I think they're all tied for second. I know which one was my favorite. This one at times where I was like, is this like my second favorite? Like, has this become what that is? And I think in a lot of ways, kind of. But then when I think about the other two that I think are in second place, I'm also like, yeah. Because I don't feel like I need to tier rank them 1 through 4. I feel like I have a favorite, which is crazy for me to say because I usually don't have a favorite, especially when it comes to a series, because I think the entire story, though split up in books, is still the same story. However, I do think I have a favorite, just on a personal level, the one that I enjoyed the most. But the other ones, I think they're all tied for second because I loved them. And I loved them because of their differences, and I loved them because there were some similar things, and I just loved them. Ooh, we're talking about the whole series at this point. Let me go back. Okay.
Are you playing with your banana?
Okay. All right, let me pull up my notes. All right. Gosh, I have so many notes. Oh, no, I already gave you most of my notes. Okay, so I think I updated you when I had 100 pages left, and I only have 2 extra notes. The first one is, I don't want it to be over. I don't want to read the epilogue. So I might have read the epilogue or large chunks of the epilogue a couple 100 pages before I finished the book. Because I had seen pictures on like Pinterest and stuff of like Mr. Volkov holding twins and like even Reese and Bridget maybe having a little one. And so I like skipped forward. And I was so dreading reading the epilogue because I just thought I was gonna blubber. Like I thought I was just gonna cry like a baby because I had been with these characters at that point for like 10 years. And I did. I was like, oh, I didn't really cry at the epilogue that much. I think I cried more at... I don't think I cried. I think I teared up at the proposal at the end of this book. Spoiler alert, they ended up together. Sue me. Yeah, so I think if I hadn't skipped ahead, I probably would have cried at the epilogue. I did skip ahead. That's okay. It was a good epilogue. I liked it. I really liked it. I liked that everything felt realistic. I like that they took their time before they had kids. They didn't all have kids at the exact same time. I like that. And a part of me was like, oh my gosh, why aren't Josh and Jules also pregnant? Sorry, spoilers coming. I like that they said in their book that they didn't want to do those things for a long time, and they stuck to it. I feel like in books, sometimes people don't always know how to end the story in like a good bow without being like, and they lived happily ever after and they had 5 kids. There's still room for growth. I know the characters are fictional, but realistically, their life is going to go past the story, right? And I like that Josh and Jules I'm not even talking about this book. I'm talking about the books overall. Oh my gosh. I loved the epilogue. Like, the epilogue alone made me want to like just single-handedly be like, you have to read this whole series just so you can read the epilogue of the 4th book, because it was the epilogue to the whole series. Let me I highlighted one part. Okay, it says, somehow 4 strangers that had been randomly assigned to the same dorm room their freshman year of college had evolved into what we were now, a beautifully messy, perfectly imperfect family that had gone through our share of ups and downs but had made it through to the other side. And then, well, it goes on past that. Like, the next couple paragraphs are also still, yeah. I can't handle it. I was upset the entire series, and, like, I knew I would be. But that is also teetering into talking about the whole series. The other note that I have for this book, the letters when they broke up, I relate. I may have, allegedly, written a lot of letters to my, I don't like saying that word, to my partner after we broke up, because we also wrote letters to each other all the time throughout our relationship. So then I was reading Christian's letters that he was writing to Stella. He wrote one every day for that they were apart, and you got to read snippets, I think, of like 3 different letters, and one letter specifically, I was like, ouch, that hurt. Like, one of them I was like, owie. And I understand this book was written before my breakup, but like, still, hello, that was similar and it hurted. My note literally says, can you see it right here? It says, oh, the letters, I relate. Though my ex never saw those letters, so. Okay, so I guess that's kind of the end of my notes for Twisted Lies. I shared a lot of my notes prior to the last 100 pages. So then my overall notes, there's a few. All right, so let me get all the books. I already held up the stack. You already know what they look like. Also, can we talk about like the marketing? Like, they just look amazing. And I like how there were subtle hints. Like, they really do give off the energy of each color. Like, Bridget, like, just exuded like sunny yellow sunshine, and like obviously red for Jules. This one because she was wearing a green dress, and I don't even know why I feel like blue just completely encompasses Ava and Alex, but it does to me, and maybe that's just me being dumb, but I never claimed to be smart. My notes. Okay. The first note, or should I say the last note that I have for Twisted Love, which I know I've talked about a couple times, it literally says, don't fly halfway across the world to tell someone you're sorry and that you love them. It won't work in real life. I may know from experience. There was a couple parts throughout these series where I was like, wow, these are hitting close to home, and owie, they hurt. I'm kind of hyper right now, by the way, guys, if you couldn't tell. Okay. So my notes, the first one is obvious, and okay, listen. I knew I was going to love this series. I have owned this series for years. Like, when I first got into reading, I owned this series, and I'd put it off, because I'm kind of weird where if I know that I'm going to be obsessed with something, I know it's going to take over my life, so I, like, don't get involved. Like, it sounds stupid. Like, I've grown a lot with it. But even to this day, like, I talked about a book a couple months ago that I've been absolutely obsessed with, like, started writing a script for it, everything. It is only a duology, and I want to know what happens so bad, but I don't want it to be over, so I just haven't read it, and I, like, kind of don't want to. I knew I was gonna love it. Like, I knew that I was gonna be obsessed with it, and I didn't doubt that I would be, but I am so glad that I'm so obsessed with it because she has so many books, and I feel like I just have so much that I get to read, and then, like, I want to catch up with where she's at because I want to be part of, like, the brand new release and go get it and read it. But I'm also, like, I feel very spoiled right now to have so many options from her. And I really like how there is so much intertwining. Like, I am excited to pick up Dante's book because he has been, like, in these books. And Dante, don't get me started on the Magda situation. We found that out. Oh, and that's been around since the first book. It's like you had no idea how intertwined Stella and Christian's stories were going to be throughout these books. And I think them being the last book was great for those reasons. Which, I mean, hey, it's almost like the author intended that. My next note. Oh, there were actually, like, high stakes in these books. Like, there was, like, some real, like, there was some fluff in there where you're like, hey, that's not that realistic. Like, you would definitely get in trouble for, like, and somebody, you know what I mean? But there was like, all of the girls had some high stakes, and there was just, like, realistic consequences to some of the things that they were facing, especially, like, Jules, unfortunately, is going through, like, being, like, blackmailed with a very personal video, and very unfortunately, that happens. Hate it. Like, that made me so uncomfortable. Like, not to the point where I was like, I hate that she wrote this and I hate this author. It's a very realistic thing to be uncomfortable about, and it's something, like, unfortunately a lot of people go through. And oh my gosh, like, the stakes there were like the stakes made these books just so much more, like, deep. I think she balanced out the, like, hee hee ha ha, I'm dating a billionaire romance with, like, some shit, you know what I mean? And it separates them from some other, like, cookie cutter romances, you know what I mean? Oh, my next note, my third note, the way Anna Huang has me in a chokehold, and she does. She's choking me the way that Alex chokes it. You know what? I'm on one. Okay. If you guys ever think that I'm, like, being so dumb for, like, cackling and making myself laugh and being like this, keep in mind, I live alone with my cats, and this is just me in my living room yapping to a camera. Yes, I'm making myself laugh. Friends, what are those? I have, like, 2. Homie, stop nibbling your body like that. Oh, kind of like going on the, like, I knew I would be obsessed with them. I feel like these books are appropriately hyped. When I first worked at a bookstore, like, 3.5 years ago, all of these books were already out. So at that point, several of these books were still a couple years old. But, like, BookTok was still kind of a big thing, and yada yada. It wasn't brand new, but, you know, it was still, like, very rampant. I remember, even never having read these series, I still knew how popular they were, and it was, like, my go-to thing to make sure I stocked and that they were all on the shelves and they were, like, faced out and, like, you could find them so easy. And I found myself doing that again recently, but we just don't have that many in stock anymore. But, like, I think they are appropriately hyped. Like, if you want a fun billionaire romance, but not too cheesy, like, I haven't shut up about these books. It's just what I like, and I'm easy to please. I understand that not everybody's going to be like, these were amazing. I loved them. I went in wanting to be swooned by some morally gray billionaires, and that's exactly what I got. And now only 2 of them were billionaires. The brokest one was only a surgeon. I was talking to my mom at dinner. I was like, the, like, brokest couple were a lawyer and a surgeon. And she was like, Now, one thing I will say, some people do not like third act breakups. I would say, having gone through a traumatic breakup myself, I am not a huge fan of it. I'm not the biggest fan of it anymore. Not that I think I was ever a fan of it, but I feel like even when I would, like, think of stories in my head, I almost always had a third act breakup, but that's just because I guess that's what I thought was, like, the worst thing in the world. Yeah, it is. As someone who, I want to say recently, it's not that recent anymore, I guess, went through a really traumatic breakup. And, like, the other thing is like, their breakups were happening at, like, the height of them being in love. And, like, that's when my breakup happened. It wasn't some breakup that was, like, we were leading up to it and it was an inevitable thing. Like, I was more in love with my ex the day that we broke up than I had ever been. And so, like, that's where I struggled with it personally. If you don't like third act breakups, all of these books have it. I mean, I am sorry. I think the breakup that was most similar... Why are we talking about this? Reese and Bridget's breakup. Not the circumstances, but some of, like, the verbiage. And not the exact verbiage, but just being like, you're kind of pushing them away, but you didn't want to, and then they walked away and you're like, oh, like, crap. Like, this actually just happened. Like, that was pretty similar. We don't need to dive into this. I have talked about this breakup too much on this channel. I said all of these books have breakups, and it's bringing up breakup trauma for me. And then I said, I can't believe I finally read the series, which I've already said. And I've spent, like, 10 years with these people, which like, by the time you finish the book, like, you have. And I feel like you can really see the growth in so many of these characters. I think the growth you saw the most on page was Bridget, but I think because, like, her book span, and not just, like, from point A to point B and then you have, like, a big gap at the epilogue, like, her whole book spanned over, like, 4 years, and I feel like a lot of that was kind of the glue for the other series, and they all overlap to a degree. Like, Reese and Bridget's stories start when Alex and Ava's book is happening, and then, like, at Reese and Bridget's wedding, Ava's like, I can't find Jules and Josh, and it's because they're having, like, this really in-depth talk about, like, kind of their relationship. And then Jules and Josh's book, Stella and Christian, like, meet in person for the first time. And it's like, kind of. So there's a lot of overlapping. I know they're interconnected standalones. I would consider this a series. Please just read it as a series. All right, all you need to know about how I feel about these books, let me just give you I know that I've gone on a spiel. Here is a visual representation of how I feel after reading these books. Okay, so I did it. I read them all. I annotated them. That was another reason I put it off, because I really wanted to annotate these. I have the hiccups. It's not the time. Oh my gosh. Love. Double love. Love. I'm obsessed with them. Like, oh my gosh. I am obsessed. I think, here's the thing. I think I have favorites from all books. I think the first, and it's just a me thing, the first book in a series is always going to hold a special place in my heart, no matter what. So I feel like on a personal level, my favorite book, I have not stopped thinking about it, and I annotated the most in it, and I think if I had to end up with one guy, it would be Reese. I think this one's my favorite. This one's my favorite. But here's the thing. When it comes to rereading it, like, when it comes to rereading it, like, yes, I annotated it, and I think I'm going to go back and visit some of these tabs. If I have the itch to reread one of these books, oh no, it's got cat hair all in it now. I'm going to sit down and reread them all. And you can read these so quick. It took me a little bit longer. Why am I saying it? It took me 2 days to read 3 of these books. No, these books I read in 2 days. Like, 2 days for one, 2 days for the other. These I dragged my feet a little bit more with. They're also the bigger ones. I would say this is a very easy and quick series to read. And when I read them the next time, I'm not going to annotate them. I've already done it. I think I've already said this. I have the autographed hardback versions of the first 3 because they've come out every year for, like, Black Friday. So I'm hoping this is next year's Black Friday. And so I have these. I have my hardbacks look exactly like this. And then I have I wish they were already out so I could show you in this video, but there are special editions coming out. I'll show you in another video. They just won't be in this video. I am so excited about, I cannot even talk about, I'm so excited about those. It's insane. I need to go design stickers for my Etsy. Oh my days. Oh my days. I'm obsessed and I'm so happy because I feel like I've had some fun with a couple like dark romances or romances here and there. But if you know me, not to bring it up again, I did go through like a pretty bad breakup and I love romance. Like I feel like a hopeless romantic. And I think for the last, oh my God, like almost 2 years, I've been completely stunted. And so it's like a huge part of what I love is reading. And I love reading like all kinds of genres, but I love when there is a degree of romance to all of it because as cheesy as it sounds, I think love is the closest thing to magic. Like, yeah, that's cheesy, like blah, blah, blah. I also think that when you lose those things, it's completely devastating. And I lost a huge part of who I am because I stopped believing in those things. And I think I even struggle with it today, like on a personal level. Like, yeah, I think love exists out there. I just don't know if it exists for me anymore. But I think I'm in a good direction because like I have sat down, I have read like 9 romance books in a row. That's insane considering I could like, directly after my breakup, I couldn't, like, if I saw people holding hands, crying. If I saw people with a baby, crying. Because I was like, those things are never going to happen for me. Blah, 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 you know, blah, blah, blah. And to be completely fair, I still don't know if those things are going to happen for me. I don't know what I want anymore in my future. I know I want romance books. I am back to loving romance books. I think I still have boundaries within them. I won't read certain things. But I am like, I feel like I have just like progressed and taken a lot of steps and I like have been really lucky to find some like really good, fun books. And these I think are the most like romancy because these are like marketed as romance. All my other romances have been like dark comedy, blah, blah, blah romance, which like, obviously these aren't the most realistic. So I got cut off. I don't remember the exact thing that I was saying, but I'm pretty sure it was talking about love to some degree. However, it doesn't matter. All I need to say, do you want to help me finish this video? All I really need to say is I adored this series and I can't wait to reread it. I can't wait to read more of her books. I gotta be honest, I've read so many romance books back to back and I haven't been reading romance a lot for the last 2 years. So I've read like 9 or 10 back to back now and I was like really itching to just read a really good fantasy book. But right now all I can think about is picking up Dante and Vivian's book, which is I think the first book is called King of Wrath. You gonna say 5 paws up and then 1 paw. I guess my last thoughts on the book. I give it 5 stars. Like the whole series is 5 stars for me. I haven't stopped talking about it. And I quite honestly haven't stopped thinking about it. Like I feel like I have daily thought about it. And I started those books almost, I guess it's been a month. I did them in December. And then I did Twisted Lies. I finished that. I did that the first week of January. So, and like, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to become a TV show, but how are they going to find 4 men to be these men? I can't imagine. Anyway, I am extremely happy with the series. I am so happy I read it. I always knew I was going to read it, and I always knew that I was going to like it, but I am absolutely obsessed with it. I already want to reread it, and that's insane. So, all I can say about it is I hope you read it. If you like fun romances, just read it. I don't know what to tell you. I think I cried. No, I don't know if I cried. I think I only cried during like 2 of them. One for personal, well, both for personal reasons, because 2 of the breakup and book 2 and 4 were just hitting a little too close to home for me, and I was crying. Fair warning, there is a 3rd act breakup in every one of these books. And every one of these books are going to make your standards impossibly high. On to our next read. I don't want to move on from these books. I haven't started reading anything since them, so.
Do you want to say bye to the video? Snoots.
You're so silly. All right, 5 stars. Would recommend.